Hello, hello.
Mike, how are you? Good evening, sir.
I'm
How are
fantastic.
you?
How are you doing, Fadi?
I am very excited and very happy to be meeting up in our live session. How you been?
Good. I had a crazy day, but I'm finished with the day. I'm at the end of my day and excited to be here doing a live with you.
I'm excited as well. So, Mike, shall we begin? Are you in? Are you ready?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So, Mike, I want to ask you a question. I want to
Hmm.
be sure. Have you ever been to Kuwait before, or this is going to be your first time?
This is going to be my first time. I'm very excited.
I mean, ever. This is the first time. This is the first time. Oh,
Ever.
wow.
The
So,
closest
I
I've
want
been is to Jordan.
to Jordan.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite an experience as well. So, Mike, what are you up to? I mean, what can we expect? You don't have to go into details, but just an idea, if you may.
Well, I'm excited to share with people my innovative, dynamic style of teaching, which can be summed up with five letters: PANDA.
So,
I call it
again,
PANDA.
Panda, PANDA, right? So,
Exactly.
how does it go, Mike? Not in details, just briefly.
Well, it's all about engaging with the student. All of my activities have participation elements. It's not about just passive listening. It's about engaging with dialogues, responses, and even body language. There's all different types of ways to participate. And so
Uh,
we are going to be asking participants to not just be sitting there listening passively, but they are going to be participating in the event.
Oh, that sounds very good, actually, and I do believe that people, especially here, Mike, they need the language, and there is one point I want to mention to you in advance. There is this fear of expressing themselves when they meet a native speaker. Like they have this inner, I call it inner fear, deep rooted fear. Like they feel so they waste their time thinking how to construct the sentences because I don't want to sound bad in front of whatever native speaker I have. So I guess your concept is going to work very well for them. And also, there's one more point, Mike. Do you plan to share with them the cultural English, your native cultural English, where how important to use proverbs in English language, like sayings or common sayings? How important is that?
Well, I think it's very important to be able to recognize them and understand them. You can express yourself and communicate fine without them, but if you can understand them, that will give you so much more confidence to be able to adapt to any circumstances. And so,
Excellent.
yes, you should definitely know them, be familiar with them, and if you can even use some, that will just increase your confidence that much more.
Because what happens, Mike, here is that they watch Netflix and they watch American movies. So along the way, they pick up certain phrases, but they're not sure about the meaning. They're not sure about the intention or the intended purpose. So when they come, they get confused. They ask me, do we have to use this all the time or sometimes? So basically, what I tell them, as much as you can, do your best to make it spontaneous, like natural. You don't have to think about it all the time, but why not? It's a great opportunity to use it. Just and there's another myth I want to ask you, Mike, about. Most of the students I meet, they tell me that we don't need to know vocabulary because even native speakers they don't use this type of vocabulary. But I say to them, although what you're saying may be true, but again, native speakers they don't overuse the vocabulary itself or the word itself. For example, not every time you ask an American or a British, how are you, is going to say, fine, thank you. They have different ways. So I think, would you be working on this as well, Mike? Would you be tackling this issue?
Yes, it's important to have a rich vocabulary so that you can choose. You can choose to have a simple, informal vocabulary, or if you're trying to impress people or you're in a more formal environment, then it's important to have the higher, richer vocabulary. So we're going to be focusing on both understanding common, normal, the way people speak casually, but also in formal settings, it's important to understand that vocabulary as well. So we're going to be hitting both.
This is what I feel, Mike. I mean, I've experienced this at all times. They tell me, but the Americans don't use it. I say, wait a minute. You try to watch the movie slowly, and you will figure out that they actually change. Not all the time they're going to say, oh, what's it like outside? It's very nice. No, they use, like, for example, when we just started, Mike, you and I asked you how you've been doing, and you said, fantastic. Now, this is a change. It's not overused. So I think this is a great opportunity that we meet up with these students. We try our best. And let me tell you about the majority of them. Some of them are professional employees. Some are managers. Some are just regular students. But you have to understand that now English language, this is the question I wanted to ask you. The importance of English language, Mike, what do you think? How important it really is? How important?
My gosh, I think in today's world, it is impossible to have a good position at an important company without at least having a B1 or B2 level of English. That's the absolute minimum. At least be able to have a rudimentary conversation and to watch a video and understand 80 or 90% of it. That is the minimum. That is the bare minimum. I have never, in the past 10 years, I have not met any businessmen, business people who are successful and have less than a B1. B1 is the absolute minimum you have to have. What do you think?
So I believe so also, Mike. I think it has become everywhere. Like, for example, even at the universities here, the medium of instruction is English. But the thing is, and here where we want to head, like how to make them feel comfortable, how to make them feel at ease and fully confident when they speak. Because this is the major problem. Most of them, they say, yes, I do understand you, but my problem is how to respond. So I think we should, and here where we came up with the concept of Speakology, we want to combine physiology, psychology, and fluency. Like there is a way to incite this area in the brain. It's called the broca, responsible for fluency. And this is exactly why we're meeting up, Mike, you and I, in order for us to highlight all these points, to get our students, our attendees engaged in several activities. And I believe you have a lot of experience. I mean, and your experience would most definitely be of a great importance to their success. And eventually we can go all the way. Here I have another question, Mike, here. Now, also there is another myth about the English language. Some of them, they say, and this is very common, yeah, I'm just giving you the feedback. Most of them, they say, we don't need grammar. I mean, we can just, as long as we talk and we deliver the idea, then we have no problem. And I say, no, it's a serious problem. What's your insight about this, Mike? What do you think?
Grammar. That is an interesting
Dangerous.
question.
Yeah, very
Yes,
dangerous.
because if you think about it, a child, yeah, you meet an 8-year-old child and they speak correctly, and they have never studied grammar in their lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, my idea behind grammar is, yes, it's necessary to speak correctly. Yeah, you want to be understood, and you want to. If you speak correctly, that will help you feel more confident if you know you're speaking
Absolutely.
correctly. However, uh, sitting down and studying grammar for me is a lower priority unless the person wants to study grammar. Like I'm studying French now, and I am fascinated by grammar. So I want to study the grammar and to understand why they have the structures that they have. Um, but like the way we correct a child, when a child speaks incorrectly, we don't say, "Oh, well, no, you have to put the adjective before the noun," because no, we just simply say, "Oh, it's a big city." We don't say it's a city big, for example. Yeah, we just simply correct them. And then if the person is interested in understanding the grammar behind the correct way to speak, well, then that's perfectly fine. So it's not black and white. It's not, oh, 100% grammar or never grammar. There is definitely a place for speaking correctly.
I fully agree with you, Mike, and I believe you're absolutely right. But let me add to this. So, for example, you as a native speaker, you meet someone who can deliver the idea to you. How do you feel about him? Like, are you contented with what he delivered? Do you have any protestation, or no? You're fine. You feel comfortable at ease, even if he makes numerous mistakes.
Um, I feel okay as long as I can understand. I get a little uncomfortable when either their accent is so strong that I can't understand them, or they make so many mistakes that their ideas are not clear, and so then it does become a problem. So if it's the occasional mistake here and there, okay, that's not a problem. But if it's many mistakes and they cannot form cohesive, coherent sentences correctly, well, then that starts to be a problem.
I got it. So, for example, if he told you, or if he tells you, I go to the cinema yesterday, it's fine. You got the idea that he went to the cinema yesterday. However, if he goes through worse than or mistakes like bad, real bad mistakes, and you feel like you're not really at ease and trying to grasp anything that he's saying, that would become a serious problem. Yeah, I would understand because the same in Arabic language. Like if somebody's talking to you and he's not an Arab, then you will encounter a problem. Like what does he want, or am I really listening accurately, or there's a problem? So, Mike, how do you think we can enhance, aside from Speakology, which we'll discuss as soon as you arrive in Kuwait? What is the best way to enhance their fluency and break uh, this fear within the students? What can we do?
Well, that is my goal for Speakology. I want to not only practice some of my techniques that I use to overcome those inhibitions, to overcome that fear and make the speaker more confident, but I want to give people the tools, the ability to practice these things on their own so they can really independently increase their confidence and feel more and more sure of themselves as they are speaking English, but not only because they have spent 3 or 4 hours with us at the conference, but also I want them to go away with the necessary tools to be able to continue to learn and improve after the conference. That is my goal, so that people really have useful things that they can apply and take their English to the next level.
Well, that really sounds very noble. And Mike, would you want to discuss some or are you going to get them involved in activities like during the training or during the workshop? Will there be interactive modes, or how do I know you don't want to disclose everything, but just an idea, people, if you would like to share.
Yes, yes, we are definitely going to have people participating. As I said before, it's not going to be simply passively sitting back and enjoying the show.
Exactly.
No, no, no. The attendees are going to get their money's worth. Yeah, we are going to be working with them, having them participate in the different activities. It's explaining something and then applying something. Let me give you an example. There
Please.
is there is something called TPR, which stands for total physical response. And
Wow.
basically, they have done studies that show that when we speak and we do an action, that creates a stronger bond in our head. And the vocabulary stays and becomes more comfortable in our head. Yes? And so imagine if I say, oh, brush your teeth. Or you say, brush your teeth. Suddenly, that link, that connection in your brain has become that much stronger. So that is just one of the many techniques we are going to explore in Speakology. That one is called TPR, Total Physical Response. That is
As a
one
matter of,
of
it's beautiful.
5.
One of 5. But this is excellent. I mean, when you're talking here about like association between this and that, and then you have the physical and you have the mental and probably the emotional state, which will make sure that whatever you have learned is going to be stored in your memory and just at the right time is going to be out. I believe so, yeah?
Yeah, we're going to talk about connecting the language via actions and via emotions and action, and also with music and stories. There are so many different ways to make those neurons, those new connections in our brain, even stronger, and that will make us feel all the more comfortable with language.
I think we should go banana, Mike, in order just to excite them. we need to really grab their attention. I mean, that's the way it's gonna be, I guess. I mean, I'm really super excited to team up with you, such a man like yourself, Mr. Mike, with a vast experience over many years. I mean, and you have many people who are your followers, and they have benefited a lot. And I asked many people around. I said, "Do you know Mike?" I'd say, "Yeah." Who doesn't know Mike? So I guess your popularity is also everywhere, even in Kuwait.
Wow.
Most of my students, when I say, "Yeah, that's true," I told them about Mike, the Canadian, and say, "Oh yeah, we know." Wait. They say, "Wait a minute, Mike, yes, we know this guy." Wait, and they opened in front of me the YouTube and said, and they say, "This is the guy." I say, "Well, yes, you do know." Oh, I think you're loved by everyone, Mike, and this is why it'll be a great opportunity to meet up here in Kuwait and really delve deeper into the best way of attaining the genuine English language, where they can speak confidently, where they can spread their ideas, where can they go really happy-go-lucky, like what they say, speaking freely. And I think you agree with me, Mike, right? That this is what we should do. Go ahead.
Exactly. I 100% agree. And my goal is to give people useful techniques that they can use and the techniques that they need to take their English to the next level. If they have a B2, well, then to take it to the C1. And if they have a C1, take it to the C2. Now, of course, they're not going to make that jump in just one
I
day
know.
at the conference. But I
Yeah.
want to give them the tools, the ability, the techniques to take their English to that next level, regardless of their level now. That is my goal.
And that's why, Mike, we need to invite everyone to come to Alpha Academy and register. Book your seat now and be with Mike and myself. We're going to give you probably one of the greatest experiences that you will ever have. It's going to be a great opportunity. Just make sure that I will say it in Arabic, Mike, if you allow me, and then I'll translate to you. Guys, يوم 30 thank you Mike. يوم 30 يناير يعني this month 30 يناير حيكون في عندنا السبيكولوجي ايفنت الساعه 5 للساعه 9 بفندق الميلينيوم. اذا حابين تحجزوا السيت فعن طريق فيكم تتصلوا او تتواصلوا على رقم 90 90 60 12 يعني 90 90 60 12. فدول ما تضيعوا الفرصه. It's a great opportunity انه مستر مايك ذا كوميديان حيكون معنا هو طبعا من الخبراء العالميين في اللغه، وحقيقه انه هو قبل الدعوه واجى معنا لهون، او جاي لعنا على الكويت على اساس نكون نحن في تقديم لماده جديده سبيكولوجي. حيكون كمان مستر مايك عنده المناهج اللي هو كمان طورها عبر السنين، فحيكون كل هذا موجود. فخليني اترجم لمستر مايك. مايك, I'm going to translate to you what I said. I have just said to them that, guys, if you haven't booked your seat yet, please do book your seat and call or contact our number 9090 6012. And I told them about you being an international figure, an expert on the language with numerous techniques, coming to quiz. This is a great honor for us and it's a great pleasure. So yeah, Mike, finally, I would like to say, Mike, one thing that I'm really, really excited to be meeting up with you. And I guess, like you said, there will be a lot of surprises. Go ahead.
Me too. I'm definitely excited to meet up with you, Fadi. And I have a few surprises for you too.
Oh boy, I have one final question, Mike. Just one final question.
Yeah.
Are you interested? Are you interested in learning Arabic language, or you don't want to learn? It's a tough language.
I'd
Yeah.
love to. I was going to ask you, can you teach me how to say sign up for the event in Arabic? Can you teach me
Oh,
that now?
I haven't used Arabic in a while. Signed up يعني سجل سجل سجل.
سجل.
Say Mike. سجل
سجل.
سجل.
سجل. سا.
ايوه سجل.
سجل.
say Mike say سجل معنا.
سجل معنا.
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 حلو. شكرا.
شكرا.
say
مع
السلامة.
السلامة.
You see, you got it right. Mike, you did great job. Anyway, thank you, Mike, for joining me. It has been a great pleasure. I'm very happy to have had you tonight, and we're looking forward to having you in Kuwait. Wish you all the best, and I'm ready. Are you ready, Mike? You said yes.
I am. I'm ready and very excited.
All right. Have a beautiful evening, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, same to you. Take care.
You take care. Bye-bye. Bye, Mike. I'll see you.
Okay.
Bye.